Hey everybody, I feel like I'm overdue for a flow forecast given that it's the rainy season. So why don't we start with what's flowing in California, looking at statewide stream flows real-time reports. The northern part of the state is the place to be right now, which is typical for this time of year. Smith is in, Klamath's in, even Burnt Ranch is in. Good little flow for that tiny little gorge there. Moving down the state, the central coast. I guess the Russians in the green, but that's not too high of a list, too high on too many people's list for paddling. And so we move down into the Sacramento Valley. You see we got a couple reaches of the pit still in. But a whole lot of yellow. That's because we don't have any rain. Feather drainage is looking pretty dry. The North Yuba has a little bit of water in it. It's probably snow melt at this point, maybe mid-elevation snow belt. Probably hasn't seen any good boatable flows. I'm sure there's been some rain spikes this winter. So we continue south into the southern Yuba, 49 to Bridgeport's down at 296. It's a tough week because I went to work on Monday, as I'm sure a lot of the weekend warriors did, right when this flow spiked up for the rain. So for those of you who got on it this week, I'm jealous. And I hope it flows more on the weekends so I can paddle it. The bear is still in at 713. I know it's green on Dreamflows, but that is I would call that medium high, especially if you haven't been on the bear. It is a great dam release option, though. Just good Colorado style run. I would. The way I like to think of it is just think of all the rapids you get in Chamberlain's in, I want to say, about 3 or 4 miles, but instead you get them in 1 mile. So about a 2-mile run with 1 mile of rapids, all back to back, and then about 1 mile of flat as you paddle out. It's a really neat run with an easy shuttle out of Colfax. It's one of my favorites in the it's wedged right between the American and the Yuba drainage. And it's one of my favorites in that region because it flows in the winter like this when everything else is out, and it's quality despite what the haters say. But as Taylor Swift says, haters are gonna hate. Moving down south, we can see Slab Creek is still in, which has just been a real present. I personally haven't taken advantage of it as much as I can, but it's still in, so get on it. Good dam release. Careful with your shoulders. There is, I wanted to say there's been 5 shoulder dislocations on this run in the last 12 to 18 months, but 2 to 3 of which have happened in the last just few weeks. And it's the rapid before the bridge. But also that first rapid is where there's been some shoulder dislocation. So just be careful out there if you have shoulder injuries, even though it is or even if you've never had one, it can happen to anyone on any day. Moving further south, we're seeing a lot more yellow. I know Cherry Creek came in with the rain, and it's out now. There's some stuff on the San Joaquin and the Kings, but all that's pretty remote. And of course, you can see the Truckee River is in. Let's take a look at what the forecast has in store for the next couple weeks, starting with the global forecast centers model and the the MSLP model, which is Bureau Mean Sea Level Pressure. I'm just going to go through this real quick all the way in December. You can see this storm's going to come in on Sunday. It's actually a pretty small event coming off the Pacific, all things considered, but it should drop some precipitation, mostly on the northern region and on the Sierra. And it's a colder storm. After that, you've got that, looks like some Pacific ridging just blocking everything all the way into mid-December so far. We'll go ahead and overlay total accumulated precipitation for this time frame. And we'll work backwards. Okay, starting now as we come in December, you can see this event come in, just dropping most of its rain, but really isn't a lot of rain. I mean, we had single events, atmospheric rivers that were dropping over 10 inches of rain in most of the northern half of the state. And you can see here, we really aren't going to get over 2 inches of rain in most of the state, just in that, and it will approach 2 inches in the Smith region and up here in the Feather region. And most of this is coming from the first storm. We'll go ahead and overlay the thermodynamic model so we can better visualize what's falling as rain and what's falling as snow, and what's happening to what's likely to happen to the mid elevation snow, which when that melts, it can bring runs like Khyber's in. You can bring the Chamberlain's and Giant Gap in. And you can even bring 49 to Bridgeport in, but that's a little less likely unless it's atmospheric river style melting. So I'm in the wrong anomaly. There we go. Now we can see temperatures aggregated better for this type of year. You see some polar vortexing here, which pretty much means that this cold air that's usually over the Arctic is falling over these continents, the continent of North America, and our daytime and nighttime temperatures are keeping snow. You're seeing a lot of temperatures in the Sierra below freezing, which is good. We want to keep snow. That's better for runoff. It creates a longer paddling season. And it's really better for everyone, all users, I think. And so that's what we're seeing. Unfortunately, there's not a lot. You can really see the polar vortex coming down there into the other parts of the continent. Unfortunately, this means that there's kayaking options from rain are going to be limited under these forecast models for the next couple weeks, and it's just going to be you can count on making plans on dam release runs for better or for worse, and that's what it looks like. So, just end with quoting the Dream Flows report, which is, "I can't boat every day, but I can always dream." All right, we'll see you guys.